For others, I'm being called to share with them the power that we have to heal ourselves, both mentally and physically. We have the power to heal ourselves, and I'm here to guide them, to show them how when you let go. This has been a new one that's been coming through for me. So I'm always evolving. Show people how when you let go and trust, magic happens. And my life is the perfect. It shows you that every time I let go and trust.
Hey everyone, let's start healing. I'm Adrienne Murchison, and welcome to episode 146 of the Let's Start Healing podcast. We have more in common than we think, and what we have in common can change the world. Well, I have a returning guest today, Maria Soprano. Maria is a vegan expert. I call her a vegan goddess. And what is so wonderful about Maria is not just her expertise around food, but it is her own journey that she often shares and her own spiritual journey and the breakthroughs that she has along this journey to really informing you and guiding you to healthier eating habits and healthier foods. We have a sweet conversation in this episode where she is sharing a vegan challenge that is coming up in October. And she's also sharing her book, and she is sharing some of the tools and practices that she has, as I mentioned, around her spirituality and her breakthroughs when she's going through a difficult time or she hits a wall. This is something that we all experience, and I am just so grateful for what she shares and imparts. So let's get to it. Let's meet Maria. Be sure to look in the description for links to previous conversations with Maria. She goes more deeply into her story. Again, let's meet her. Let's get started and let's start healing. Welcome, Maria.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you. You look fabulous. You really
Thank you.
do.
I appreciate
Very,
that.
very vibrant, just airy, light.
Got my whole gypsy soul thing going.
I love it. I love it. And you are in a new space. And how are you doing? Because I know you were going through some challenges when you were moving and looking for a place to live, and you absolutely loved where you were living originally.
Originally,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yes.
there's been a lot of challenges that have been in play recently. And I had to incorporate a lot of the things that I talk about, the very practices that I share with my clients, to keep myself balanced because it was really, really challenging. I manifested exactly what I wanted, which was incredible. I wanted to be 5 blocks away, a 5 minute walk to the beach. I wanted a certain like bohemian theme, but I wasn't specific enough with the energy. So it was ended up being a very toxic environment that I was living in, very much like a bullying situation, actually. So that wears on your energy. No matter how much you try to stay on the positive, I didn't realize it until I had moved out that my body was in constant stress mode. And every time I turned that doorknob, I didn't know if somebody was going to come at me. So once I moved out and I had nowhere to go, I literally did not have an address for three and a half weeks. But that was better than being in the scenario that I was in. So my body broke down on me, and for the first time in 8 years, I got sick. And
Really?
I had extreme fevers and chills, and my body was just breaking down on me because it had been in survival mode. Not knowing what was coming at me each time I opened that door, even though I was doing all the right things. When it was free to just let go, it did. So I remember laying in bed. I slept for 14 hours straight, and I just said, body, do your thing. I appreciate you. Heal and get rid of whatever is meant to be left. Let me leave my body, and that's exactly what happened. It just released it all. 14 hours later, I was doing great. I stayed with friends for 3 weeks, which ended up being such a beautiful, incredible atmosphere that showed me what true, generous, loving people could be like. And that set me up for the energy of where I currently live, because energy is everything. If I had stayed in that bad energy, I would have probably moved into another bad space. Instead, I ended up moving into a really great house, and my babies are happy, and I'm happy, and it's just a beautiful living situation.
Wow, and your fur babies.
Yes, my fur babies.
Yes.
that's
Yes.
that's Figgy sleeping right here by my feet.
This is so amazing. First of all, I'm happy for you, and I know what you're saying is real. I went through something similar, not with moving, but I just had a lot of challenges that came up in my life all at one time. And I ended up getting a serious cold and strep throat of
Wow.
all things. And it was still hard for me to, relax. You know, how you said
Mhm.
with your body, you just said, you know, "Body, do your thing," and you it was very hard for me to just relax, but I was in the doctor's office,
Mhm.
and you know how you're in the room, but they haven't gotten to you yet?
Mhm.
Just I'd be sitting on the table, whatever that is, you know, and I was just leaned over forward with my head in my lap.
Oh
I was
wow.
like, "I'm so tired." You know? I
Wow.
want this to be over, like, this visit to be over so I can just go home. You know, just completely exhausted, and it's like it really does, the stress takes a toll on our body, and what you did is what we're supposed to do. And I just wanna just speak to that, and I have had a lot of friends that have just poured love into me, and I think that's what's helped me to shift that and, me staying connected to God, but it can be hard to just be still sometimes when we think,
Yeah.
"Oh, I need to do this. This is the problem, and I need to be addressing it with these 10 things."
What happened with me, especially, was I wasn't able to cook and do my meal prep. I speak so much about the nutrition we put in our bodies, but I had no kitchen to cook in at that time. I was doing the best I could getting the nutrition in, but it wasn't right. And between that and all that stress and feeling my body feeling like it's in survival mode for months at a time, my body was just like, okay. And I felt like, honestly, it felt like an exorcism. Like my body needed to rid itself of all that negative energy that came from that place I was living in. And I remember just the sweats and the chills. I was like in and out of consciousness for 14 hours. And like I said, I haven't even had the common cold in years. But it felt like a release of some type. And I thanked my body. I let it do its thing. I slept and then I was fine. So,
Wow, wow. That's awesome, and I wanna point out that you're an empath, as am I, and so maybe this doesn't happen to everybody, but as an empath, we can take on other energy, and it can really, it's like something just some energy just, like, sits down and, like, plop down
yeah.
in our spirit sometimes.
That's why I said it felt like an exorcism. It
Yeah,
really did. It felt like I needed to expel all that negative energy that I had taken in from that living situation. And I did. And once that was over, all these beautiful blessings have just been continuously on my path. And it's just been amazing. Amazing.
that's awesome. I'm so glad that you honor, who you are and where you are in your life because you work so hard to get to where you are now.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. It's something that I work on every single day. It's not
Mhm.
like, this is a daily practice that I do. And sometimes, even though we know what we need to do, we will fall out of the very practices that keep us okay. And then we'll start to see chaos happening in our lives. And we start to see a bunch of different things happening. And that's when we realize, okay, what's going on? Why am I attracting all of this? And then I start my practices again, and everything just goes right back into lines. And it's just, it
Yeah,
lines up
and
for me.
you've shared this before, but share again what some of your spiritual practices are, on a daily basis in the mornings and what you do.
So the very first, I actually, now that I have a huge backyard, I put not kayak, a hammock back there. And my very first thing that I do in the morning is I get out of bed, take my puppies outside, I go out into the hammock and I meditate. I start with meditation. I do gratitude. I do journaling sometimes. I have affirmations. I do all the things that we keep talking about. Grounded every single day. I'm grounded one way or another. But that morning practice that I just shared with you, that's before I touch my phone. That is like it must happen before I even touch my phone. Before I let the outside world in, I set the tone of my day by doing my meditation, my gratitude, and all that. And I just been laying in my hammock and just taking it all in, feeling just so grateful for it all.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to take on the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you're armed and you're
Exactly.
prepared and your nervous system is
Yes.
calm.
And they say, I mean, with breath work, literally, it's the quickest way to take care of your nervous system to get it back when things are, you're starting to feel overexcited. And so is grounding. Grounding, you know, when you go to the ocean, you hear the sounds of the waves. It calms you. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just came off a cruise and it was my 3rd cruise since 2017, and, I realized I mean, I love the beach, obviously, I love the water, but I love also being on the ocean on a boat. Like, being at the rail and just taking in that water, literally feel the same as I do I'm when my heart is full and I'm in love. I realize that's the same feeling, like that rise up in me, in my spirit and heart, that's the same feeling. Like, it's just I'm like, "This is what I need. This is so what I need."
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's exactly how it feels. It's that feeling over like just that new love feeling that like just when I see my babies, my fur babies, that how they fill up my whole heart. That's the feeling I get every time I go to the ocean.
Yeah,
That's the feeling I get when I sit under a tree and I take in the tree, the sounds of the leaves and all. I get that overwhelmed feeling of just wholeness, oneness,
yeah.
peace, love, you know?
Yes. Well, before we get to your upcoming challenge, your vegan challenge,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to hold up your book, which is Vegan Made Easy Guidebook. What a beautiful book. And
Okay.
yes, absolutely. And share what your book is about. Is it recipes? What is it? What are
So
you
it's
talking about?
actually not a recipe. This was a guidebook that I put together specifically to go with my 30-day vegan made easy challenges, but also for people who want to do this on their own. And now they have a little guidebook to go about it. So it just tells you about detoxing, and it gives you some of my favorite detox recipes. Because whenever we want to reset our gut health, whenever we want to reset ourselves, first, detox. Get rid of all the stuff that doesn't belong. Then build up your gut flora. This tells you how to build up your gut flora, the foods to eat, what would help. After that, what else did I have in there? Oh, I have where do we get their protein? Where do they get their iron, their B12, the best combinations to get the maximum nutrition. So this is just like as you can see, it's a small book, but it's so packed with information. It is just a guidebook, so you could just literally keep it with you. And then it has in the back, it has just where you can your daily food planner, your week one, your cravings, challenges, so you can keep track of things. So this is a really neat book because it really keeps you on track, and just it's a guidebook. It really will help you with the plant-based living.
Wonderful. And where can we get the book?
It is on Amazon, but I'm also going. It's actually linked to my karmafreeliving.life. I have it in there, so any one of my product services that I have coming up, including the book, I have the links in there for it.
Okay. Okay. And then
Or
you
Amazon.
have and you have a challenge, a vegan challenge coming up in October 6th.
October 6th. So I've been doing these 30-day vegan made easy challenges, and they've been incredible. I've seen so many people have such successful results within days. It doesn't take a long time. And what I do is I ease you into the lifestyle. I find that so many people are interested in the plant-based lifestyle, but don't know where to start. So I ease you into this lifestyle. We break you into it. It's nothing is going to be abrupt on your body. But this is the first time that I'm doing it in person.
And how are you easing your clients into this?
So we do things alone. We start the detox. Always you got to detox. But instead of just saying, okay, don't touch anything, it's okay, let's find vegan products. They are still, yes, they have preservatives, they have all that. But instead of taking you from a burger a day to a salad, we're doing a burger for a burger. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you don't want whatever you eat normally each day. You're gonna have the vegan version of it for right now, and then we ease you into now we're gonna do the whole food version of that vegan version, because for a lot of people it tends to be too much to go all or nothing.
Yeah.
So we just, and that's just a little bit of what it is,
Yeah.
but in it I give so many recipes, lots and lots of recipes. I have people, it's so funny, somebody will go to a store and be like, Maria, I picked up this eggplant, what do I do with it now? So when you tell me that in the challenge, I will have like 20 recipes for you. These are my 20 favorite recipes. I have people who have sweet tooth cravings, people who have salt cravings, and I'll just have tons of recipes in there for you to have whole food, plant-based recipes. We also do meal prepping, and that's what I'm really excited about, doing it live as well. So I believe I'm going to be doing it online and live. I haven't 100% confirmed it's going to be online this time. For this upcoming challenge, it will definitely be in person, community type of support. Just bringing people together. We're going to be doing the meal prepping together. I want people to see how easy it is for them to cook these meals themselves.
And when you say in person, meaning that you're gonna be doing it, in San Diego at a particular location,
Yes.
but you don't know if you're going to have that, filmed where people can see this
I believe I am.
online. Okay.
I'm almost positive I am, because
Uh-huh.
I get so many people around the world, and literally around the world. I mean, I've had people in London and all different places be part of my challenges, and they seem to really enjoy it. So I don't want to cut them out of it, but I also wanted it to be more hands on, where the people can actually taste the foods
Yeah.
and feel the difference. When I showed them the texture differences of tofu, for instance, because everybody's like, "Oh, what do I do with tofu?" It's a block, and I show you literally how to do it, to make it from something slimy to make it to something delicious, and it's so easy, it's so quick that it tends to inspire people. So that's why I want to do it in person as well.
So in June, I stopped eating beef, and I already wasn't eating chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't eat beef or chicken, but I still eat fish. And I don't see how I can stop eating fish because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat if I don't eat fish, if I don't eat seafood. But I'm not comfortable. I can't say that I'm comfortable eating fish. I just I feel like I'm not supposed to be eating anything that is alive, that has that kind of a life. And that's what led me, because I love beef. I
Mm-hmm.
love beef. I love burgers. I love steak. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it.
But
So
it tends to
it's
be
just
because we put seasoning on it. We like the seasoning of it. Like
it's
plain.
so good.
It is, but okay. So fish was one of my last things that I gave up as well. So I understand that entirely. That
Yeah.
was one of my last. That and cheese. Those two were my last two that I did not think I could give up. And now I have substitutes for. I went to Jitters Cafe here in Oceanside on Tuesday. They had Taco Tuesday, vegan tacos, and they made a taco out of coconut that was absolutely delicious. Delicious. I took it home, and my roommates were trying to, like, oh my God, this is incredible. It's more about the mindset. In our mind, we think we cannot give this up, or we feel we're giving things up. We are not giving anything up. It is a change. It is definitely a change, but you're not giving up anything.
Yeah.
You're gaining so much. And we just have it on our heads, and this was myself as well. And so many is that we feel that we tend to think that, okay, we're not going to have this, we got to sacrifice, we're never going to have that again, that it's going to be just too much to give up everything, and
Well, and
I,
it requires some level of work. It requires
only in the
work.
beginning. in the
Yeah.
beginning in the beginning, it's a whole new way of eating and learning. So it definitely is, and that's why I do these challenges, to help ease it in your way into it, so you know a little bit more about the foods to eat and how easy it is to really make this change. And like I said, it's a mindset. We tend to, like I was saying, we tend to just have it in our head that we're giving things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a cook really.
Okay.
So I'm not really a food prep person.
You're not
But
okay.
I will fix some salmon, and I do like fried fish, but I can see myself moving away from that because it just doesn't sit right with my spirit to eat beef anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I can see it, and I already was not, like I said, I had to stop eating chicken and I won't eat turkey or anything like that. So, uh, yeah, it's just a mindset that I have to get
From a
to with the
from a
seafood
spiritual
part.
place, sorry. From a spiritual place, though, that was also weighing on my soul a lot too, because I believe in energy. How can we consume the energy of something that's been in suffering, in pain, crying? You know, how can we possibly consume that energy and be okay? I don't, so I believe in that, as well as, just this ease. It's not like they're the best cared for animals.
Exactly.
They live in a horror. And so if you're consuming this ease, how can you be healthy? So there were so many different contributing factors to it that just led me to this, that it just became a no-brainer for me. But I mean, when I went into this, I dipped my toe in because I did not believe in the holistic vegan life. So I dipped my toe in, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. And then I put my foot in, and I'm like, okay, there's something to this. This
Right.
starts leaving my body, and then I just dive into this pool. I
Yeah.
dive in, and now it's like, there's no way you're getting me back out of this, because now
No.
I see how incredible it feels. It's a no-brainer. It's you when you see this ease that we're told cannot leave your body's gone. When you
Yeah.
see mental clarity better, it's just so on so many levels. For me, it was just something that event, and I did it slowly. It wasn't something I did overnight. It progressed.
What do you think about this being your calling? Because it is
Oh,
your calling. And so what do you think about how this all came to be your calling, not just a way of life, but for something for you to impart to other people as well as benefit from it yourself?
I'm
Mhm.
honestly amazed by it.
Yeah.
Really, really am. I'm amazed that this is my calling, and the whole vegan made easy thing. And I always say gypsy soul because I believe in freeing yourself from things. But it's just, it's amazing to me because I lived a life of so much sickness, of so much darkness, of so much pain, that I would have never imagined that this would have been my life now, that now I'm here inspiring, motivating, and helping others. I would have never, I mean, most of my life I felt defeated. I felt defeated. I felt depleted, but I was determined to be healthy and happy. And now that I've overcome all of that darkness, I'm here to guide others to hold their hand and get them through to the other side now too.
And you recently, I saw this just today on social media, that did you personally try hypnotherapy for yourself? And is that the same as hypnosis?
I don't know if it's the same as yeah. I guess it would be. Yes, it would be. So I believe in the holistic field, and after what I've been through with medicine and everything, I really try everything possible to make that the last resort for emergency reasons only. So yesterday I did go to hypnotherapy. The reason for that was because I wanted to try it for clients, because I have clients that go through a lot of different things, and I wanted to see, sometimes people need something before they come to me. If you're battling with a lot of different things, the trauma, if you're battling, some people even just like smoke addiction, that they're trying to give it up, and that's eating up at them. So I wanted to try it out for them first, and I did, and I was in a ball of tears, but it was all happy, beautiful tears. It really was. So I didn't know what to expect when I went into it, and I ended up having a visit from my grandfather, and just seeing him joining me in the gardens, and then hearing the words, affirmations that came out of me from him, and then it was repeated back to me. And now I have my own set of affirmations that were like, that it was just like mind blowing to me. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
can you share the process? So you were with a hypnotherapist and they guided you into a space. Can you describe how
So
you were
the
led?
first part was funny to me because I had told a friend that I was going to do hypnotherapy, and they said it's so funny. I didn't even realize I was being hypnotized. So I remember him asking me a bunch of questions, and in the middle of asking me questions about what am I here for, what am I doing, I was feeling so at peace. I go, oh, am I already hypnotized and I don't know it? But I wasn't. So then after he asked me all the questions, got all he needed, my safe space and all of that, he started to, then he did the countdown, and, I literally told myself, because I noticed that I wasn't going on the hypnotherapy. I told myself, "You're going on the hypnosis. It's okay. You're in a safe space. Let go. Just breathe. You're safe." And once I let myself go, and I told myself I was okay, and I told myself, "You want answers? Let's get those answers." So I did, and then I went under hypnotherapy. But I could still hear and knew what was going on, but like under a trance type of state.
Yes. Yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. I wanted to say that I had experienced that, but it was similar but different. I did a past life regression
Oh, I want to do
one
that.
time, and, I it was awesome because it spoke to my spirit, my natural spirit of how I am. And in one, I was a rebellious nun.
I feel like that's somewhere in my past.
And I was in it was during another period of time, and I was in, like, some library with a candle in my hand, and it was, like, late at night, and I'm just going up and down the aisles of this library looking for a book. And then I landed on this book, Life is But a Thought. That was that was what I landed on. And then the other was, like, I was set in, like, Western times. This was same day, the person just took me twice, into the
Hmm.
space, and I was in this I own, like, a saloon, and I was the bad bitch in charge.
I've always wanted to do that. I actually would love to do past life regression. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Very
so funny you
powerful.
mentioned saloon though, now that you're saying it, because yeah, as I'm doing this whole thing here in San Diego, I've had people approach me that they want me to do a saloon out here, where it's like I have people get together and we do a whole cultural thing, and bring in the vegan lifestyle, show them the cooking and all of that. So yeah, it's so funny. And then you just happen to say that, which is so random.
I
Maybe
love
not.
that.
Maybe not. Because I have not heard anything about a saloon in years, and all of a sudden twice in 1 week. So
Yes, yes. Well,
yeah.
I love that so much. Well, let me ask you this, just a couple of more spiritual questions. When you're in your spiritual practice in the morning and you're really communing with your higher power and
Hmm.
your own divinity, what do you feel that you're being called to do for you?
Hmm.
People always avoid this one part. For you and for other people. Like,
For
how are
me,
you being Mhm. Yeah, what are you being called to do for their benefit as a service to them, for their healing, and for yourself?
for others, I'm being called to share with them the power that we have to heal ourselves, both mentally and physically. We have the power to heal ourselves, and I'm here to guide them, to show them how, when you let go. This has been a new one that's been coming through for me. So I'm always evolving. Show people how, when you let go and trust, magic happens. And my life is the perfect, it shows you that. Every time I let go and trust, the wildest miracles just happen. I think it's just the synchronicities that happen, the things that come into play, money that just appears out of nowhere. All of these things happen. And I keep getting, if you show people that you're able to do it, you're showing others that they can do it as well. So it started with this whole vegan gypsy soul, and I think the reason why I keep feeling called to saying gypsy soul, to me gypsy soul means free. And I'm showing people how to free themselves of those beliefs, free themselves, of those fears that's holding them back, to let go and trust. So that's been coming through a lot for me. And for myself, what's been coming through a lot is be easier on myself. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, and I hear that often. It's okay. You're exactly where you're meant to be. It is all exactly on purpose. This is all a process. So just, because in my head, it's like, I have this online course I want to do. I have this I want to do. How am I going to get it all done? And it's like, take it in. You're okay. It's happening. You were given the download. Let it happen as it's supposed to, on its own time. So that's what's been coming through for myself.
Powerful, Very, very powerful, true, real things you just said. I'm so glad I asked you that because that
I'm
was
glad you could relate to that.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And really, we can fight it, about the letting go and trust part, but
Mhm.
really that's our only choice is to let go and trust. And I was just recording something about this earlier because I was referring to it as surrender. And it used to be that I would get to surrender when I would become weary, and I had to start understanding that I don't have to be weary to surrender.
Did you read The Surrender Experiment by
No.
Michael Singer?
Michael Singer? No, I know Michael Singer, but no.
The Surrender Experiment. When I was so as I started this by saying I was in a toxic environment and I knew I had to leave. I had nowhere to go, and I kept hearing in my meditations, "Be ready." What am I being ready for, universe? Be ready. I started listening to Michael Singer and his book, The Surrender Experiment, and I just surrendered. I kept hearing, "Be ready." That's what I did. The day I was going to have nowhere to live and I would have been sleeping in my car with my dog and my cat, a friend that I had just known through one of my groups was like, "Oh no, you're coming to live with me and my family." It ended up being incredible. Every step along the way, I surrendered. And literally the synchronicities that happened, and that place brought me to this place. Like every little thing just fell in line because I surrendered.
Yeah.
And I continue to do that. But it was the most perfect timing that that book came to me. And I finished it the moment I was listening to it on audio. The moment I put my last box in storage, it ended. It was like the timing of it was like, I got what I needed out of it. Yeah.
What lessons? What lessons? How would you describe yourself now versus a year ago? We met about a year ago virtually,
Yeah.
felt an instant connection as many people do with you.
Mhm.
And you were already, there on your path, at that time. How would you describe yourself now versus then?
I don't recognize myself in my life. Everything has changed. And it's just, if you knew me 5 years ago, I'm not the same person. If you knew me 3 years ago, I'm forever evolving, forever growing. But the growth that took place in 1 year since we first met,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time that I met you. I was like, "Oh my God, I just want to be on a podcast so bad. Just one day I want to be on a podcast." And then you gave me my first chance. And since then, I'm on podcasts all the time. I've written a book. I have a paid speaking event next week. I have another one in November. It's like all of these things transpired. I have become a completely different person. I've just truly, this past year that I've been going through so much, let go, surrendered, and just watch things just unfold.
Yeah.
I can't even explain it any other way. Things have just come to me and unfolded. I didn't go
And,
out looking for
and obviously you're in gratitude. I mean, you exude gratitude.
it. Every single day, several times a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right by the beach, so I go there. That just happens to be my spot, but I could just be under a tree or put my feet in the grass and I just take it all in. Listen to the birds, listen to the bees. I am in gratitude of every little thing. The breath in my lungs. Like I am, like you said, I
Mhm.
have, I exude. What's the word? It won't come out right.
Exude.
Yeah, it's not coming out of my mouth right today, but it does. It just, I'm
Yeah.
full of gratitude. I really, really am.
Can you share what your speaking engagement is next week? It may be a private event, but
It is going to be a private event that hired me. I've actually been getting companies and a couple of different corporation type of things that have been reaching out to me, which I'm also available to. So if anybody hears this as well, but that's what's been reaching out to me. So it's been really nice. So this one is going to be a public one. I mean, a private one. And so is the one in November. It's going to be for two private communities that I'm doing it for. So yeah.
wow. All right. Well, so and how can people get in touch with you again, your website or social media?
I
What
am
would you
Karma Free Living with a G. With my New York accent, it doesn't always come out. So it's Karma Free Living is my handle on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. But I'm also karmafreeliving.life is my website, and that's where you could see links to everything, my books, my challenges, upcoming challenges, my coaching. I have so much. I literally help you along every step of your way on your wellness and mindset journey, from a simple little $11 book to retreats, like everywhere along the journey. And that's something else that happened just by downloads. I started getting little things at a time, and it became where now I literally guide people through their entire journey. And I never saw how I was, one minute I'm doing this, the next minute I'm doing that. I'm like, how does this all come together? And I'm like, okay. I let go and I trusted, and now I can help people along every place, every along the journey, wherever they're at.
Awesome, Maria. I'm so glad you're back. And it's been a while, so we have to do this a little more often.
Yes, I
glad.
miss doing these podcasts. Thank you so much for having me back.
Thank
It's been
you.
amazing.
Thank you. Congratulations on everything
Thank
you have
you.
going on.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to Let's Start Healing and share the episode with at least one person that you know. Follow me on social media. And until next time, let's start healing.